What's your name?
Yo, we need an NFL show. Football's back.
Football is back.
This is Moose in Big House.
Yeah.
And we just push the button.
Push the button.
Push the button, man. NFL football's back. Hey, this is Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. We so glad y'all been here.
Yes.
I tell you what, man. I am ready. My exhaust system is struggling a little bit, so I'm gonna eat these tacos and hopefully we have a.
You get you some White Castle. That should have ran.
It gets too much in there, man. It kind of hurts me or whatever. So I'm trying to figure it out, man.
Gotcha.
But hey, hey, Smooth. I want to get this exhaust system under control. I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, that voice you hear, man. That's the star of the show, the one, the only. To my left today, he's the one, the only LGZ Mbaku.
Yes. You know what's crazy? Somebody asked me about why do I call myself LGZ. I was like, clearly you haven't been listening. Right. I figured that I identify with Black and Dominican. So
right. And I haven't ever since I added Big House. I haven't added another one because I'm clearly Polynesian.
Yeah, Polynesian.
Clearly,
man. I mean, so I just figured let the people know the LGZ.
You know what I like?
BTQZ.
I like how we use clearly instead of literally. Like I think
you made me aware of that.
I think clearly is better used than literally. That's our mission now, to change people's mind from using literally so and so to clearly, because that makes more sense.
It's well stated that way.
Well, you guys got on me for saying literally all the time, so I was like, you know what? I will change my verbiage.
I like it
because actually you can say figuratively is.
Then you're making it up.
Yeah, figuratively speaking.
Because it's the opposite of literally.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I clearly.
Well, I guess it's not.
I like
the opposite.
No, not clearly. Hey, I tell you what, that other voice here, man. That's a smooth sounds. Yes. I'm going with DJ Longer. That's the one. That's the only DJ Long.
That's 3 times Long Green.
What's happening? Yo, just back in town. I'm refreshed, ready to go, man. I'm pumped, man.
Had a good trip, man?
Yeah, it was cool, man.
Good barbecue?
Ironically, no, man.
You to Kansas City and get no barbecue.
You believe that?
How did you not eat barbecue at KCMO?
I didn't say I didn't have barbecue. I didn't have good barbecue.
Oh!
You know what I'm saying? So,
what's the name of the good place there? Gates?
You know what, man? Gates is kind of more of a traditional restaurant, and it's black owned and it's historic, and the locals go there because it was the black barbecue place. But to be honest, it is not the best barbecue I've had in Kansas City, Memphis, Texas.
That's what's funny about you said Memphis. Everybody keep talking about, was it Rendezvous?
I've been to Rendezvous.
I was not impressed.
They were cool, man. I wasn't really feeling they dry rub.
That dry rub, yeah. I wasn't
everybody else.
Yeah,
but I've been there, you know what I'm saying? And Gates is kind of the same way. It's one of those places, because it is popular and famous, I go to from time to time. So, yeah, it's all good.
Hey folks, check this out, man.
Yes.
It is taco time and wing time here at Stadium Tavern. Matter of fact, we got 2 honeys today.
Yeah, we got 2.
We got 2. It's 2 for Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Holy cow.
Wow.
Right, real quick, say your name, sweetheart.
Mariah.
That's Mariah, guys. You know Mariah. Her hair looks like it's the same color as it was last week. She does change it often. And then, but she's our favorite. She's been here since we've been here day one.
Day one.
And then the other young lady with the bun, but she's looking quite Eastern European to me. You know what I mean? Like,
she's very well.
She about to do some gymnastics or something.
Maybe Swedish.
But what's your name? Alicia got extra cool when we got talking on the mic. Hey, Alicia, we definitely appreciate you. And I tell you what, man, the tacos look amazing tonight. The wings look amazing.
Come on
We're
down.
Stadium Tavern. Hey, I tell you what, Alicia, scoot up to the mic a little bit. You got to get cool, and you got to tell us, what are the specials here at Stadium Tavern? Do you know?
Oh,
pressure.
Put her on the spot.
Pressure. Tell us about tonight.
Tonight, 50-cent beef tacos, $1 chicken, $2 shrimp. Everything comes with lettuce and cheese. You can add on tomato, jalapeno, sour cream, pico.
Yes. Outstanding.
45-cent wings on Thursdays.
45-cent wings on Thursday. Okay.
I came on the wrong day.
You did.
She got some muscles too, man.
She's been
Working hard.
Just work.
His word.
Dig that.
She got the definition like she can punch somebody for real.
Yeah, she's a cutie. Hey, I tell you what, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Put you on the spot.
We'll be back.
You kind of look like Princess Leia with that bun you got.
Retro.
Yeah, I like it. Oh, that's true. What? All right, guys. So today we're gonna get into. Thank you. Today we're gonna get into the NFL preview show, man. We gotta talk all things football. We also got some Brews reviews, and you know what? As the fellas earlier were talking about barbecue joints and different food places, we have to come up with our own top 10 list of best food for football season.
Ooh, I like that.
So we got to come up with our top 10 best food for football season.
Let's make it hard.
What's that?
Outside of can you say wings?
Okay, that's fine.
Because obviously people wings. Yeah, we accept wings as number one.
Wings number one? I think there's a lot of people that are not going to have wings number one. We'll see how it goes.
I got some surprises for you on that. I'm looking forward to this.
All right, outstanding. Hey, Heaviest Radio Show, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, so NFL, man, starts in earnest on Thursday. And Jeezy, I know you're eating a wing right now. Look, I'm talking about the wrong time. But Jeezy, I know you want to talk about this game, and you got to be. I want you to be in the middle.
Okay.
Slinging slightly towards the north. Okay. Well, towards the lake.
Okay.
Well, that's not even. I still can't get it because they're both on the lake. Slightly towards Illinois. I understand how you're gonna do it, but give us a nice breakdown of all of it.
Well, I think the Bears and Packers kickoff is the 100th meeting between the two teams, and the 200.
So they played since the NFL
started. There's 100 years of the NFL.
Correct.
So the Bears is everyone's kind of sneaky pick to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I too have them as my pick. We get to that later, but the defense we know is going to be there. It's the offense I think that everyone's kind of waiting to see what the offense is going to do. And as far as Green Bay, they got a new coach. You know, Aaron Rodgers and their new coach been having some kind of, disagreements as far as can he audible or call different plays at the line. So we'll see. But Green Bay has always been our nemesis. You know what I mean? It's always been the Bears' nemesis. So I think it'll be an exciting game to kick off the season, man.
So I have to ask you, at this point in his career, is Aaron Rodgers a coach killer? I mean, because it was rumored he couldn't get along with Mike McCarthy.
Right.
And that drove a big wedge in between the team and the success on the field. So to have a new coach, new administration, and here you're already having issues.
Right.
Is this saying more about Aaron Rodgers?
It do, but the thing is, it's amazing. If you look at Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, what they've been able to do for 20 years, coach and player and quarterback, they don't get along. It's well documented, but the one thing that I think that they're able to do that other teams aren't able to do is put their personal differences aside for the goodness of the team.
They want to win.
They want to win. So, I remember they asked Tom Brady when it's all said and done, do you see yourself having a beer with Bill Belichick? He was like, no.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, no, I don't see us having a beer together. But you don't have to be that way to win Super Bowls and be a great,
right,
coach player combo.
I don't understand what you're saying right now. I'm cool.
Like with Aaron Rodgers, I just don't think that him and McCarthy ever saw eye to eye on anything. And I think he blames McCarthy for a lot of their losses with play calling, because it came out while the players that when McCarthy would call plays, Aaron Rodgers get in the huddle and roll his eyes and all that kind of stuff. So it was just a lot of, but they was winning games, so it's hard to fire a coach when you kind of successful.
And they won the Super Bowl together.
Yeah, but once that was over with, once they had a couple of bad seasons, it was over with for him. Aaron Rodgers won that battle. So now this new coach come in, young guy, and find himself in the similar situation. I think you gotta get along with your coach, but I think when Aaron Rodgers been an old vet, I think if he have a bad season this year, next year, I think I see Green Bay moving on from Aaron Rodgers.
Moving on?
Yeah.
He's getting older, too.
Old.
It's just like, the Giants are talking about that new kid,
Daniel Jones
could start over Eli. Eli's gonna start the season, but it's like he's on a hot pad, you know.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get it right, he's on his way out. So, I mean, do you guys think that some of these quarterbacks that came in during that time, Rodgers,
Roethlisberger,
Roethlisberger, I think he's solid, but yeah, you're right. Roethlisberger, Rodgers, Eli. It seems like all those guys. Matter of fact, those might be the only three.
Phillip Rivers
been around. Oh yeah, he was the same time as Eli.
Yeah, same draft.
And Drew
Brees.
And
absolutely.
Drew Brees. And so, like, those guys have been around 15, 16, 20 years or whatnot.
Well, that's a long time to play quarterback. You gotta think, like, Dan Marino and them guys retired like 35, 36. It was done. Like, what Tom Brady and Drew Brees is doing right now, playing at 40 and 40, like Tom Brady, like 42.
Yeah, he just turned 42.
It's still at a peak level. I think it's kind of amazing, but it shows what the NFL has gone in the direction of protecting the quarterback.
Well, I mean, absolutely, that's a big factor. I mean, just in terms of being able to design a system that can keep a 42-year-old upright most of the time and having offensive linemen that, again, have become so valuable.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely extended the longevity for guys of that generation because it is rare for them to be well into their 15th year and still playing quarterback, and mostly playing quarterback on a high level.
And so, all right, guys, I'm going to throw a moose on here, man. We're having a great conversation. Folks, that's right. Ladies, if you don't like sports, stay with us because we will for sure get out of sports and talk about some brews and reviews and some other things that are going on.
I'm sure Ron will have some TMZ stories
that are going on in
get
society.
Marcus Cousins, too.
But, right. But here's the thing, though. So, we got to talk about these quarterbacks, and all of a sudden, my squad, my team, and he's not my quarterback, by the way, so I shouldn't.
Nope.
I apologize. He's not my quarterback. But Andrew Luck up and retires, man. He was 29. He retires. What do you guys think about that?
Can I tell you what really ticked me off? I was really ticked off about seeing Andrew Luck's thank you to the city of Indianapolis in the newspaper. That ticked me off. And then I was pretty pissed at Joe Hogsett for having Andrew Luck Day. It's too soon. I don't want Andrew Luck Day. I don't want his thank you.
I mean,
he quit 2 weeks before the season started. He quit. And it was an awful, awful way for the fans to find out during the game on Twitter that the quarterback you see bouncing around on the sidelines laughing is completely quitting on you.
You know what's crazy? Somebody made an argument. He said, "It's when Angelo retired." No, he didn't retire. He quit.
He quit.
There's a difference. When you retire, that means you have no more obligation to that team. That means your contract's up. You just decided, I no longer want to do this anymore. What Andrew Luck did was like, I had a contract and was like, "No, I'm cool. I don't want to do this no more." He quit on his team. He quit. And for Indianapolis to have Andrew Luck Day and all, I mean, that's, to me,
cornball.
That's silly because, like, what has he won? Peyton Manning deserves Peyton Manning Day because he brought a Super Bowl to Indianapolis. He was here.
We was here. We got in two of them.
He got in two of them. I mean, Peyton Manning to me should get more of the accolades, the statue out front before Andrew Luck gets any of that.
Now, I do not think Andrew Luck is gonna get a statue out front. Peyton does have a statue out front already.
He does?
Yeah, he does. But Andrew Luck will not.
He shouldn't.
And here's the thing, though. I think that he is the recipient of coming behind Peyton. So we had the same loving feelings for our quarterback that we had for Peyton when he was there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's funny how when it initially went down, there was two camps. The first camp was just to save Peyton, and they could use Peyton to get another championship. Y'all remember the team was still kind of good when Peyton left.
Yeah.
It was a camp of Colts fans that wanted to keep Peyton, really didn't want Luck. You know, but there was another camp that was like, good riddance, Peyton. Let's bring in another 20 years of Andrew Luck.
Right. He's hurt. Yeah, he was hurt or whatever. Yeah.
And when Peyton won that Super Bowl, a lot of Colts fans wasn't really mad. They was excited for him. Y'all still felt like we got Andrew Luck, that we'll get one too. And for him to 3 years later retire, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, you know what? What's to say about mental health? And the fact that if your body's all tore up, at some point you're like, you know what? I want to have a regular life. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be hobbled. I don't want to be, all messed up every single day.
I completely get that, but I still think there's something to be said about timing.
I agree.
It felt like he was doing everything and was this far in, and just quit. He could have quit during summer, or he could have retired during summer camps or OTAs or any of that. I just can't do it. But you've been practicing. The game before the game that we found out about him quitting. He was on the sidelines working out, getting everybody juiced up and excited.
And just walked away. Yeah, I mean,
just walked away. That's why I feel sorry for the fans that were in attendance who had to find out on Twitter, because that sucks.
Well, find out that way that he's on the side, like you said, chilling, having a good time, and then look at your phone like, well, he retired, but he right there. Yeah, but I think the NFL might have a problem on his hand. I think this might be the new trend, because the money's getting so big, where it's like, you know what? I'm 30 years old. I don't want to do this no more. I got enough money in the bank. You just, you walk away with all your faculties. And walk away. The left tackle for the Redskins, he's doing the same thing. He said he refused to play any Redskins ever again, and he don't mind walking away from the game.
So, can we fault them for wanting to be okay and have their legs and arms and back and everything in good working order?
I'm with D'Lo. You can't fault him for walking away from the game with his money, but like D'Lo said at the time, like you screwed the Colts.
Right, because if he would have left before that contract, which, come on, man, I don't think any of us would have signed the contract, got the guarantee money, and then we would have made a decision, basically.
Right. I mean, Gronk was 29. The Patriots know 6 weeks after the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, the Patriots time.
Great timing.
Yeah, the Patriots time to find another tight end. You draft a tight end.
Before the draft.
Give them the free agency. Well, however you want to do, but you give them time, and you get the fans time to be like, okay, we understand Gronk. Even most people didn't know Gronk was 29.
Right.
I mean, he walked like he older than 29, but.
Right.
But to your point, when you said mental health, I had made a post about this. I said people laugh at Kyrie Irving. He's depressed and his mental health and that.
Even Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley said
all that stuff came out. He said, "Well, you make all this money." I was like, nah, man. Like one thing I will say about today's athletes that we grew up, the athletes that we grew up with don't have to deal with the scrutiny that we had to grow up that the athletes today grew up with because of social media. I mean, you can look on social media any day of the week and find out how much you suck.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? Instant feedback.
Yeah, it's right there, man. I mean, that's got to definitely take its toll. But, I can totally understand depression and mental health. But, yeah, it's just Andrew Luck's timing for me that really makes the situation suck. I mean, Moose, with your background, man, education, you deal with mental health, man, so maybe you do understand it from a different perspective. But from a fan perspective, how do you feel? What are you drinking? What's he drinking?
Huh?
What's he drinking?
Here's his question.
Can I go?
Here's his question. What do you think from a fan's perspective?
So, all right. So from a fan's perspective, I understand that he wanted to feel better. He wanted to he's got a new wife. He's got a new baby on the way. His calf has been hurting him. He had a ruptured, like, was it kidney or something? A spleen or something?
Yeah.
You know, he's had injuries that are like car crash injuries.
For sure.
Playing the game. And it's like, I'm sure at the point that he's like, you know what? I have figured out that in order to take care of my family, I have enough money to do it. I still have my faculties, and yeah, I'm a little banged up, but I'm gonna make it happen. So, when you wake up with pain every day, not everyone can handle that.
Right.
You know, and it does take a toll on your body when you wake up every day and you're not able to walk. I don't know if you guys ever remember that snippet when they showed what it looked like when the bus got out of bed in the morning when he was still playing, when he was older. It took him, I don't know, 20 minutes, to get out of bed because his body was so banged up on Monday morning. Now, true enough, they get your body in working order. By Sunday again, you're ready to go. And so yes, I mean, I think that some people are okay with the mental health. They're strong enough to handle the pitfalls of being injured and being hurt and going through all those. But I think some people are just not strong enough mentally to handle.
Well, to me, I think it goes to the fact that Eric Dickerson was on a show a couple weeks ago, and he said after he retired, he slept in a recliner for 2 years because his neck and back was messed up so much he can barely get up and barely move around.
Wow.
He was like, so when people see him, he said, "Wow, man, you look good." Like, no, y'all understand how I feel though. I'm not able to move. There's a lot of things I'm not able to do. That he said, you see people on TV, see all these athletes on TV, but they're sitting down. But when they get up, after doing commercial break, they get up and start walking around. You like, holy, they jacked up.
Right.
Like the game takes a toll on your body, but it's a toll that we all knew we were signing up for. That our bodies will pay for this. But as far as Andrew Luck, like we said last week, I think Andrew Luck was good at football, but he wasn't a football player.
Exactly. He was kind of bred. He was kind of bred to be a football player.
But that's not.
I mean, is his dad still the CEO at the NCAA and all that?
He's with the
XFL now.
He's with the XFL. That's what he went.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you got to think Andrew Luck was a guy that stayed. He was the number 1 draft pick. He stayed at Stanford another year to get his engineering degree.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah, he's that guy.
He's that guy.
Just like the quarterback at Oregon now.
Herbert.
Yeah, the quarterback at Oregon now, he did the same thing. He stayed there. Even though he probably could have went very high in the draft, but he stayed in college. So are we saying that he's a football player because he stayed in college another year?
I think.
Whereas Kyler Murray was about the business because he left because he was hot.
Well, Kyler Murray was a senior too. He was a red shirt. He was a senior. He wasn't. He was done after this year anyway. But I think certain players like John Rosen.
What about Haskins? Haskins was not a senior. Haskins could.
Yeah, he came out, but I think some players. I think it boils down to race of players in most cases. If you come from an affluent family, it's easy to walk away. I mean, it's no big deal to walk away from that kind of money,
right?
Or whatever, because you always had money. Whereas, if you're a minority player, like that's you feeding the whole.
You lay your body on the line to make sure you can play as long as you can play.
So some of them do that. So I commend Luck for if he ain't feel like the same thing we said for Vontae Davis last year.
Yeah.
Quit at halftime.
Right, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, but if you ain't feeling no more, man, walk away. Because the game don't mess around. You know, the second you start thinking about retirement, it's time to retire because you get it's a mindset.
Yeah.
Man, you listen to ABS radio show, man. I tell you what, I don't know about you guys, but I get the great opportunity to hang out with some pretty bright minds, man. You know, every week, man, and talk sports, social issues, and entertainment, man. Holy cow, we just had a fry incident. Did you save any of them?
No.
Or was you done?
I was done pretty much.
Okay. Was there another wing in that box?
No, the wings. They were pretty good, man.
Hey, you know what? For finally, they were pretty good. Like I've been wanting to taste one for a couple weeks.
Yeah, D'Lo had them last week. The wing they have just enough amount of sauce,
crisp and sauce and the whole deal, man. All right, hey folks, so we're gonna get back into it, but I tell you what, real quick, you guys gotta know we gotta get into brews and reviews and all the other stuff that we do. Hey, I got a quick question. What do you guys think about Carly Lloyd? What do you think about Carly Lloyd? And she talked about making an NFL team kicking.
I think it's a double-edged sword, like the one Thanos had in Endgame. I think on one hand, I think it's cool that if she's good enough to go out there and kick, then she should definitely go for it. The other side of it is the same way I feel about having a woman coaching NBA team, head coach. The first time somebody block a field goal, she get blown up. Like who's going to be the guy on a block field goal or a punt that takes out Carly Lloyd?
Everybody. She's playing. She got a helmet on like everybody.
I know, but I'm saying who's going to be the first guy? Because you know the first guy that do it.
Is he wrong?
He's not wrong, but you know it's going to be like, well, he didn't have to do it. He didn't have. That's going to be the story. He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to hit her. He didn't have to, but, you know, she's on the field.
She's on the field. At that point, she's a professional football player.
Yeah, not a woman. She's a professional football player.
Exactly. I mean, and certainly she knows the risk going in, you know, but her body, in my opinion, is built differently than Andrew Luck's. And if he retired at 29, you know, I'm pretty sure one good hit and the stunt is over.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that the key, because she was even saying, like, the key is just don't miss. I mean, just don't get it blocked and don't miss. Like no one's saying that, you know, the Grammaticas was great physical specimens out there on the football field.
Who?
The Grammaticas, right? Yeah. You know, or none of them guys.
Martin,
you know, if you look at.
I remember the other one's first name.
Yeah,
I don't either.
If you look at Vinatieri, he's 45 years old.
Still.
He's just kicking field goals because he's accurate. So I mean, it can be done, especially the team's going to protect it. But the backlash is going to be from that first guy that lambasted her off the field.
Or they block it and she has to make a tackle.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
right.
Well, to make a tackle, she can get in the way. Like, but most of them guys can't tackle.
She gets forearm stiff the wrong way.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's the person that hits her during the play. He's ultimately going to be the bad guy. He'll be vilified for that.
But if she's on the field, it shouldn't happen.
You know? You say if she's on the field, it shouldn't happen?
It should not happen. Like, if she's on the field, like, it doesn't matter what she's doing.
Yeah, I mean, we all agree with that, but I just think that it's like the NBA coach, the first female coach that's in the NBA, and the first player that gets in her face and yells it on the sideline. But we see it 1,000 times when there's two men arguing, nobody says anything. But the first player that put his hand in her face and yells at her, that's going to be like the biggest news in the world, man. Can you imagine DeMarcus Cousins? You know what I'm saying? 6'10", 6'11", and Becky Hammond's face pointing down like you called the wrong play.
It's a terrible image.
It's a terrible image, dog.
And that be the thing, you know, with her being on the field, the first time, as you put it, she gets lambasted, man. It's probably going to be a brother.
Yeah, and that
image, know what I mean? And the imagery.
The imagery is all fucked up.
It does not help society.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help because, I mean, you know, the second Fox News get a hold of that clip. I mean, you know, was this necessary? Well, it's football. It's like ultimately we forget.
They're sons of bitches.
We forget that this football is a violent sport. So when you out there, you're a gladiator. You out here. So
that's what I'm saying. If she's a gladiator, then she's fair game. Like if she was,
she's fair game like everybody else.
Yes.
So, but what you're telling me is that the world is not ready for that.
I mean, listen, man. I mean, this is my problem with the world. Why does everybody want to go in and make everything for every sex? Why does nobody want to be a trailblazer? Why don't these women go to corporate sponsors and really beef up one of these women's leagues? Why don't they do fundraising to make women's college football a hobby sport or anything? You know what I mean? But you want to jump right to the NFL because you can kick good. You know, you're fair game at that point. I just wish more people would start their own as opposed to making all the sexes.
Nobody's gonna watch girls football.
They got lingerie league and nobody's watching that.
I don't know, but thank you. I appreciate you.
The fries is banging in.
Every radio show, man.
No, they good.
But you made them look.
And there's absolutely nobody's gonna watch girls football. Nobody.
I mean, but if you market anything and make it look like something, some people will go for it.
But here's the thing, though.
And if you want to build it into something, build it into it. You can become the greatest female kicker in the female football league of all time. I don't know how you sell it. That's not for me to figure out, but I just don't think the NFL needs to be
Is Jeff
blended.
Wheeler sitting over here?
Who?
Jeff Wheeler?
Did he send us drinks?
You what?
Did he send us drinks?
No.
He's not here.
No, he's not.
No.
But you know what's crazy? If you look at UFC, they carve it like D-Lo said. They create their own division within the UFC where women fight women, and now some of them are more popular than the men. More popular. Like Cyborg just signed with Bellator for one of the richest contracts in Bellator history. She's a freak, but the thing is, like you said, trailblazer. Ronda Rousey was the first woman to headline UFC and a WrestleMania, for that matter, event. So like you say, trailblaze and pick your lane. And like if it's entertaining, people will watch. But nobody wants to see a man hitting a woman. Like that's just not something that
in a physical sport,
that's not going to happen.
That concerns me as a black man. The perception once his brother creams her,
and it's gonna happen.
All right. So that means she doesn't get an opportunity.
Well, she will get an opportunity.
No. That means she doesn't get an opportunity because we're scared she's gonna get hit in a game where
she
people
will.
get hit.
She'll get hit.
So
I'm not saying. I'm saying if she's good enough to make the kicks, she should have opportunity. If you're
good enough to make the kicks, you're good enough to get the hits.
Right, but her job is to be a kicker. Her job is big. I mean, we're not asking the question. Like I said before, we're not asking if Grammatica, or Hansen, or Vinatieri can tackle.
They do.
Or make. But then Vinatieri don't make no tackle. That dude running around.
You know what? Matter of fact, man, he was young. There's a video of Vinatieri running down Bo Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, there's different clips of those things happening. But I'm saying for the most part, like Cody Parkey ain't tackling nobody. A lot of these guys ain't tackling nobody. But there are situations where they're all on the field with a block punt and they're in the mix, and sometimes they get blown up, they get hit.
Listen, I'm more than fine with her being great at making kicks. That's awesome. But it's the NFL. You can't be a one-trick pony. I mean, just going back to the Colts training camp, they had some pretty talented wide receivers in there. They had talented wide receivers that I felt like as wide receivers should make the team over other players. However, those other players were more valuable because they were also valuable special teamers. So I don't think it's just good enough for her to be able to make kicks. She's gonna have to be able to absorb the hits. She's gonna have to go out there and hit somebody.
I think kickers is a specialist position. I don't think it's necessarily even with the Colts, they make a usually the field goal kicker is the one to do kickoff, but because Vinatieri don't have the leg strength to kick off on kickoffs, now the punter takes over the kickoff duties and the punting duties.
We have a punter and the kickoff guy, the same guy.
But it's usually the field goal kicker and the kickoff guy is the same guy.
I mean, so there's always two kickers. So I mean, she would end up being the person that's. She would end up on the Eagles probably being the person just kick field goals, and then the punter would have to also do the kickoff.
The kickoff, yeah.
So, but we're saying no.
I'm saying if she's good enough.
Hey, ladies and
make kicks.
ladies and listeners.
This coming from Jeezy.
Ladies and listeners, I would love to see what you think about female kickers in the NFL. And she's a field goal kicker, so female field goal kickers in the NFL. What do y'all think?
If she's accurate and she can make the kicks, and you know.
When I watched, she had a 55
Yeah,
yard.
but she also took like 9 steps too. Like there's a reason why kickers take 3 steps or 2 steps. There's a reason why you can't take 5 steps. That shit would get blocked every time.
Every time.
They'd be in the backfield blowing you up.
Then you're a liability and you are going to get smashed.
Yeah. So, but I think it's for entertainment purposes. I don't think that she's going to follow through with it.
And I know this is an NFL show, but I got this quick question about, man, did you guys watch the Big 3 championship this weekend?
No, I missed
Oh,
it.
Joe Johnson was MVP.
But so now all of a sudden he's got to work out with 3 NBA teams.
Wow.
And he's 38 years old. What do you guys think about that? Like, good for him, or
definitely good for him.
no,
Good for him.
There's always room for a shooter. Kids, if you can shoot that rock, there's a job for you, man.
Exactly.
Like if Ray Allen said he wanted to come out, he's like 45. I mean, Ray Allen said he wanted to come back and
They
play.
bring him on board.
Somebody pick
Give
up Ray
it a
Allen.
try. The Jamal Crawford is old, and he's still making
Still
buckets.
making money because you a shooter, you get a job.
You got a job.
Got a job.
Man, salute to Joe Johnson.
So it'd be real.
Joe
interesting.
Johnson, have his, we like you, man. Shout out to the Big 3 too, man. Ice Cube. I believe that D-Lo is doing the old Ice Cube tonight with his Raiders cap on. Looking like Joe Boy. Appreciate you.
Right back at you.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys.
Ruger, did you watch any of the Big 3?
Yeah.
I don't even know when they come on. So
I
don't
watched it.
right. I never seen one shot made in the Big 3 that wasn't a highlight.
I watched it.
It's on CBS, right?
Yeah,
I didn't.
It's on CBS on regular TV, and then it's also on CBS HD.
Yeah, I've never seen a Big 3.
And I follow it on Twitter.
Wow, you all in on the Big 3?
I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan. Here's the thing: if Jeezy had the big 4, Black College Basketball Association, I'd watch it. You see, so I'm a big Cube fan. I'm a basketball fan.
Shout out to Cube for that, man.
And and for him to start that and get it rolling, and now to have a guy that's getting looks back from the NBA, he's gonna just he has women coaches. He has women coaches that are coaching some of those teams. I mean, I think it's pretty amazing, man, that they got this league, man. It's fun to watch, because
everybody like throwing through.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I lived in Michigan for a while. I mean, the home of the Gus Macker.
Gus Macker was
and the Gus Macker was huge. And so really, he just has a professional
Gus Macker,
a professional form of Gus Macker with his ex.
And they will cut your ass if you ain't good.
Yeah, you are.
Just ex Boozer.
Yeah. Did Carlos Boozer get cut?
Yeah, and Lamar Odom got cut.
Well, Lamar Odom,
he got other things.
He makes poor choices. And so folks, man, Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. Again, we talk about everything. All right, guys, are you ready? You ready to get into some bruising reviews? All right, so does anybody have any? I tell you what, I do have some. Matter of fact, I'll go first while you guys are thinking. All right, so it's time for bruising reviews. Jeezy, what's a brew and review?
Well, being one of the creators of bruising reviews, bruising reviews is basically the way the heavy hitters.
It's clearly
the way it's clearly the way the heavy hitters review things, and we decided that the more brews it takes you to enjoy something, it's kind of whack. And then the least amount of brews, if you have one brew, you sipping, it was a pretty good show. Man. So it's the way we rate anything that we choose to rate, whether it's a hip hop album, whether it's a movie, whether it's Cirque du Soleil or whatever. It's the way we do things. It's not the reverse rating system. You get away from that. It's our rating system.
It's our rating system.
Yeah, I
appreciate this. Right?
Did they even come up with booze?
We don't talk about that. That's our rating system.
Do you look at the origins of the story? You read the origins?
We'll talk about it off there.
Trust me, they still did. They're still doing conduits. They're still doing home improvements.
Still doing home improvements stuff. Hey, check this out. I got one for you guys.
Yes.
I watched a show on Netflix called Dropping Cash.
Okay.
And it is very similar to Yo MTV Cribs, or not Yo, but MTV Cribs. But it's kind of a new version. And what's the name? Oh, there's a network and Complex. There's Complex Network is the people that put this on Netflix, and it was a very interesting show because what they do is they take these new artists. So I saw Jacquees, and there's there's some DJs, and there's different.
So Tila Long real on there?
At some point, Longer is going to be on there.
Check me out.
But typically, what they do, man, is they get out there and they show them doing something in their craft. Sometimes they show their crib or their studio, and then they go spend some ridiculous money somewhere. Usually with cash. So it's like 12,000 here, 20,000 there. There was a young lady that was in Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, Love and Hip Hop, I think it was. And she bought her first car. She was 30 years old. She bought like a Bentley truck.
Damn. Out the gate.
Out the gate, man. It was her first car. And then they have, so anyway, there was lots of people on there. The show is interesting. Interesting enough where I don't think you need Bruce because you're watching it like while you're mopping the floor, while you're like cleaning the bathroom, whatever, that kind of thing. So I would say no Bruce for Dropping Cash because it's not something that you're gonna tune into and focus on. You're gonna be doing something else.
Yeah, something else.
So you know what? Instead of Bruce, I'm gonna give it 2 dust rags. I'm gonna give it 2 dust rags and some awesome spray.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's a decent show. It's a real decent show.
Well, I got a couple. I gotta go through them real quick. I did watch The Family, episode 1 of The Family.
The Family?
The Family you talked about.
Oh, okay, yeah. What do you think about
it? Very interesting show, dog. It opens your eyes to a lot of shit. The second one I watched, if you ever get a chance, called Dirty Money. I watched one about the payday loans. Dog, man, it's a grimy business, man. like this is how people get sucked into that loop because they don't read contracts or they don't read what they doing. And then last but not least, man, I want to give a shout out to Davidoff, man, Cigar Lounge in Tampa, Florida, man. They call Black Friday, man. And Black Friday is when it's basically. Imagine if Blend had Black Friday, which they would never do that, but if they did, all the brothers come out, man. The brothers come out, man. Just smoke cigars, man. It's very professional, man. I mean, I actually hung out with Haywood Workman, dog. I had no idea who he was.
You had to go all the way there to hang out with Haywood Workman.
I had no idea who he was.
One of my favorite all-time patients.
Had no idea who he was. I'm sitting there. We chopping it up like he know my boy Eric. So he talking about how Tampa, we just chopping it up. So when I left, my boy called me and was like, "You didn't know what that was, did you?" I'm like, "Nah, man, it's Haywood Workman." I was like, "Oh, for real?" Like I didn't even know, but he real cool cat, man, real cool. Refereeing down there, man. He lost a lot of weight. He's a little dude now.
Really?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Lost a lot of weight, but yeah, man, but it was real cool, man, to see that it's possible, man. So and also, man, shout out to Marauders. Cigar Lounge in Tampa, man. It's in the hood. It's a hood spot, but it's love, dog. It's a real love spot, man. So this show been black owned, man. We can do some of that. We can make that happen here, dog.
This is some great things.
There's some great things, man.
I got a Brewing review, and it just so happened I saw something today. I was watching television with a female, and there was this show that came on. The Family Chantel. And this is a spinoff of some other show, 90 Day Fiance. Well, apparently, apparently this chick married this guy from 90 Day Fiance. She's a sister, and he's from the Dominican. And her family found out that he wants to bring his mother and his sister over to America. And man, this was some of the worst television watching I've ever done in my life.
Oh wow!
You know, I can easily give this like the mother. The mother drove a lot of it. So the sister's mother really drove a lot of this. Like she's having these guys investigated, and the chick Chantel is the one who got married from the 90 Day Fiancé show, and they went and saw the private investigator regarding her sister's boyfriend who wants to propose. They decide we need to get him checked out. They've been together 6 years. We don't know much about him. So instead of asking the guy, they go to this private detective. Private detective calls him like, we've been investigating him. You've got to come into the office. We've got some information here that we can only tell you in person. They get to the office. The investigator gives them the news. This guy has another kid they knew nothing about that he had 3 years before he got with the daughter.
And this is on Family Chantel, you said?
Terrible. And easily a good 10 brews.
Oh wow, that's horrible.
How long do you stay committed to the episode?
Oh man, I
watched the whole episode.
I probably got through a good 45 minutes, but I was like, well, if you're going through all this trouble to wreck their relationship by getting a private investigator and talking to this dude, and you got to be called into the office for this, yo, he must got some stuff going on.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's too much.
What stations? A&E?
TLC. Terrible waste of time.
Ain't our own.
It was one of them stations.
I don't watch none of them shows. I don't watch OWN.
Yeah.
TLC.
No. I used to watch.
Or Lifetime.
I used to watch Trading Spaces back in the day on TLC. The home show. You didn't watch the home show TLC?
No.
Yeah, that was pretty good, man. Basically what you do is I'll go to your house and do a home improvement at your house, and you go to my house and do something at my house.
Oh, I saw it on regular television. Like ABC or something.
That was extreme home take, extreme whatever. But yeah, TLC. It started on TLC, then it went to ABC with that one.
Yeah, I did see that. Heavy's radio show, man. You checking this out?
And I used to watch House Hunter International. Bruh, if you ever watch House Hunter, first of all, if you ever just watch House Hunters, period, I promise you, I think that our Pilgrim friends get secret checks in the mail.
I'm not sure what because go ahead, I know what you're getting at.
Jokers be like, what do you do? Well, I work at this, this factory.
I walk dogs.
Yeah, some shit. What's your budget? 800 to 1 million.
Right.
Wait a minute, like, how you get 800 to 1 million for your budget? Like, you know what I mean?
You're a mailman and they wife walk dogs.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where is this extra money coming from? Then they had one episode I watched. It was international, bruh. To be in all spaces, to be an American, we take for granted because this one lady, she walked around.
That was right on time.
Her apartment. They walked around, and then she walked around. She was like, "This will be your panic room." So they walk into the panic room, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I will feel very safe up in this room." I was like, "What the world? Can you imagine in your house you had a panic room in your house?"
Wow. To be able to live like that.
Live like that. She's like, "Yeah, I will feel very safe if there's a disruption going on. I can go in my panic room." Yeah. So if you ever get a chance,
option.
Have you ever seen House Hunter International?
Yes, I love that show.
The room with the panic room.
I didn't see that one.
They go to Israel. Every time they go to Israel, Pakistan's one of them places. I mean, it's crazy.
No, but
Do they do South Africa?
Yeah.
90 Day Fiancé the other way. Somebody moved to South Africa.
Yo, I was just talking about 90 Day Fiancé.
I love that show. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, I saw this Chantel show.
The family Chantel.
Oh, it was terrible.
Because Pedro's crazy.
It was
and his
awful.
mother and his sister are insane. I love 90 Day Fiancé. I watch all of them.
Yo,
all right, so hey, real quick,
That's my guilty pleasure.
Man, you guys hear that voice, man? She's up in there. The lady of the show, man. The one he only run.
EMC.
Hi, happy Tuesday. All day I thought it was Monday, and it's Tuesday, and then I was very happy that I would get to see you guys.
Sweet. Good results?
No. It was fun to watch the other team. That's bad, but that's how it was tonight. Some days are just like that.
All right, at least you can respect the play of someone else.
Was it the straight sets?
Yes.
The family Chantel.
The family Chantel. Okay, so let's back up.
We already know about it. Like, why are you so excited about it?
Because I really love to sit and watch other people's drama that I don't want to be a part of at all. So I love all the 98 Day Fiancés for that reason. So Pedro's crazy, his mom is crazy, his sister is crazy, and they're like real feisty. So in the latest episode, Pedro's mom, they went to the DR. So
she's here?
No, Pedro's from the DR, so they went to the DR to visit his grandmother. But Chantel's whole family went. Mom, dad, the Dominican Republic. Mom, dad, sister, and brother all went. So then they had to meet in this alley, which I don't know why that's where you would choose, but whatever. So it was Chantel and her mom and dad, and Pedro and his mom and sister. And Pedro's mom said that she was going to take Chantel's mom's wig off her head and mop the floor with it.
Did she say it in English?
No, they only speak Espanol. And so Pedro was the interpreter.
Just like you?
Yes. And
don't speak Espanol.
Pedro was the interpreter, and he interpreted what Chantel's family was saying incorrectly. So him and Chantel are currently fighting, but hey, what's new? 90 Day Fiancé, the other way, though, is my new favorite.
I have to ask a question.
Yes.
As I only saw about 45 minutes of the show today.
Blasphemy.
But I'm curious.
Yeah.
Did the mother finding out that the dude Ja, who is with the sister,
correct?
Did the whole baby thing end up breaking them up? I mean, because the kid was 3 years before this gal.
So here's the deal. So Ja is Chantel's sister's boyfriend. They've been together for like 5 years, and so because Chantel's family is also crazy, they hired a private investigator to investigate Ja because they were like, we don't know anything about it. So private investigators like, hey, he has a kid that you guys don't know about. So we knew that he had one child. Turns out he has an older one also. Chantel wanted to know where he was going for this long period of time, and so it turns out he's going to visit his kid. Anyway, so we don't know the answer to that yet. So the sister has not spoken to Ja recently, but in this upcoming episode on the preview, she's FaceTiming him asking about this kid. So she knows about one of them.
Oh, sorry, guys. I just woke up.
You asked a question.
I apologize.
So we knew about one, but not the other.
What's happening?
My hand's right now.
Yes, LGZ.
So Pedro got a kid that they
no. Ja has a kid.
Who is okay?
Pedro and Chantel together. Chantel's who the show is named after.
Okay. So who is Pedro? Who is Ja?
Ja is Chantel's sister's boyfriend.
But they're not a part of the show.
Yes, they are on the show.
Oh no! All the shows focus on them or not?
No, it's about the whole family drama of dynamics of both sides.
Okay, then never mind. I won't even ask the question. I'm important.
Okay.
I just woke up again.
Well,
how's everybody doing?
I have all kinds of 90 Day Fiancé knowledge.
How's everybody doing?
That was my last question about it.
Okay.
Everybody good?
We're living the dream over here. Did you enjoy your nap?
Yeah, I did.
Those shows is definitely not from.
Did I talk long enough?
No, it was a good nap. It was a great nap.
The dealer watched by accident. He watched it.
Yeah, but he watched 45 minutes of it, which is longer than probably anybody else would like.
I didn't know what it was.
Some shows, to his defense, some shows you get stuck in this loop like it has to get better, and you just keep staying. Like certain movies, I reach a point where the movie is like, I'm finishing this. I gotta know how it's gonna end. Even though I know it's gonna be stupid. But I've been here an hour.
Like that one movie with what's his face with the pizza, living in the basement.
hey, real quick, man, does anybody have any news on Kevin Hart?
Yes.
You know he's in a bad accident?
He was in a very bad accident in his recently purchased for his 40th birthday car.
Plymouth Barracuda.
2 other people were in the car. Kevin Hart was seriously injured, but he is okay. I believe one of the other people may not have made it, but I can tell you that in just a moment.
So you can tell me, this is the world we live in. I get it. Kevin Hart's a big name. But as far as I knew, he was the only one driving the car. I did not know there was 2 other people in the car.
I heard 2 other people were in the car.
I thought it was just he and one other person. Like some guy driving.
You ever go on an airplane and think if this plane go down, I'm a part of the others? Like
Maybe it is just one other person.
Who's the name that it's like Dan Patrick and others perish.
Wait, you gotta have a better, star than Dan Patrick.
I'm saying, but if I'm on the plane.
But I get that. But I mean,
and
I want
others,
like, I don't know, maybe John Travolta.
You probably won't be on the plane with John Travolta. I had at least somebody you'd be on the airplane with. John Travolta's flying private.
Oh, you made it realistic for him.
That was nice.
Dan Patrick.
There's a possibility you'd be on an airplane with like Colin Cowherd or
somebody from ESPN.
Or you might be on a plane with some B-list. Most people fly private.
What's his name?
So like commercial. Strahan. Who? Michael Strahan. No, he flying private. You're not gonna be on the plane with Strahan.
Bow Wow for sure. We saw.
You be on Bow Wow for real. You be on the plane with Bow Wow.
So little Bow Wow dies in the plane crash, and I'm
You're another.
You're part of 198 others.
Dang.
That's kind of weak for the family, dog.
That's super weak. I'm cooler than Bow Wow.
But you think about it, like
Bow Wow would be on somebody's news saying he was on the plane with Moose, aka Big House, and you weren't there.
Exactly. I mean, you think we live in a world where 198 lives will pass, and people be talking about, I feel sad for Kevin Hart. Yet the person that called him is dead.
Really?
So,
you know what I mean? Like, we don't care.
There was a driver and Kevin and a passenger. A female passenger who maybe is not his wife because she's not named.
Oh,
that's sketchy. Also, if you buy yourself a sports car for your 40th birthday, wouldn't you want to drive it?
No,
that's another question.
When
you say it's a Barracuda, they ain't a Maybach. I'm driving my Barracuda. For sure, I'm driving.
Like his driver, him, and a female passenger who's not named.
There are these people not named.
Okay, so everyone did survive, but the passenger had more injuries than Kevin Hart did.
Was he in the back seat?
Look how bad it was. That's bad. That's a bad day.
That's a scary looking accident.
I mean, the whole top of his car is gone.
Right.
Kevin Hart was glad he was short that day.
Where you going in?
Yes, ma'am.
Here's with the light up. I know you like to see more light.
How did I know it was going to be TMZ?
Yeah, because that's
definitely wasn't media takeouts. Hey, but
you asked about Kevin Hart. That's where.
It's time to run that news, though.
Yes, I have some news today. So.
Since we're right here, we might as well.
We might as well. Yes. Okay. So, I feel like you guys will partially be into this. So, there are 2 new Barbies coming out. Well, one's a Barbie, one is just a doll. So they are going to release a Dia de los Muertos doll, which I feel like is kind of strange, but at least they're becoming more diverse.
Your Spanish is tore up.
I know. It's because I'm not Spanish.
It's Dia de los
Muertos. That's what it's called. The Day of the Dead?
Yeah, but you're not saying it right and correct at all.
How do you say it?
Go ahead, it's cool.
And a Rosa Parks doll, but I want to show you guys this Rosa Parks doll because I feel like she looks maybe not as dark as she should.
No, that's fine. That's a very clear representation.
I can feel that. Here's
the thing. She was fair-skinned, but I just feel like
Mexican people come in all shades.
Rosa Parks was not Mexican.
You said Rosa Parks? You said Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
I never see you talk.
They had a Rosie Perez Barbie?
That's Rosa Parks.
Hey, so
she was a red bone.
Hey, check this out. I do have something to say though. So this weekend, I watched Disney Channel or something for a little bit, and the one with the Black Princess,
Tiana, the Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog. So
is that the one Beyonce did the voice for?
I'm not sure. So here's the question: Jeezy and D-Lo. I'm gonna ask you guys, DJ Longgreen. So in this movie, the princess turned out to be a black woman. Mm-hmm. However, more than half the movie, she was a fraud. Mm-hmm. How come there was an uproar that the black princess? Matter of fact, was she the first black princess?
Yeah.
Yes.
So she was the first black princess in Disney's time, and more than half the movie, she's a fraud. And by the way, if you listen to the other characters that were around her, holy cow.
There was a whole lot of cooning going on in that particular movie. And, my issue was, one, the fact that she was a frog for most of the movie. But my second issue was, And she wasn't exactly a real princess. She was the Mardi Gras princess.
Showing them titties.
Yeah.
What constitutes a real princess? Like just that
Lands
she's
and
born royal?
rulership,
royalty,
and power.
And the only reason it worked is because really
Then Belle's not a real princess.
Who is Belle?
From Beauty and the Beast.
She married the Beast.
Who's the king?
She's just a townsperson who loves to read.
But she married the king. She's a queen. She's not
They didn't actually get married.
Oh, whatever.
But Cinderella and Ariel did get married.
Here's what I like about this. So, but Belle wasn't a frog the entire time.
That is correct.
She wasn't a frog.
And in fairness, Sleeping Beauty slept the whole damn time. She was asleep.
Yeah,
The whole time.
Well, only until her 16th birthday.
All of Sleeping Beauty doesn't come out with a Me Too story.
My question is, why he didn't walk in and just put his penis on her lips?
Because you can only be awakened by true love's first kiss, not a dick in the face.
Here's my problem with this. You know what, man? Maybe the heavy hitters should like invest and write write a Disney movie that starts from the marriage on. Because we clear, as guys know, it's always great in the beginning of dating. All these movies is all about him getting the booty and getting to the booty. All these movies about the he's doing everything. He's giving up his house. He's giving up his kingsmanship. All this shit to get this one girl. We should have a movie called Cinderella 5 years later. You know what I mean? And she got kids.
Run down.
She done put on about 20, 30 pounds.
Just getting there, maybe some flapjacks.
She's not doing everything.
She ain't doing everything that she used to do. You know, that's the show that we need to see.
And then she's going to have some magical translucent heels come into her life, and she's going to regain her confidence.
And she got it. That's, oh my God.
Yes. She found some stilettos. The clear ones.
I think what they might call them is CFM.
Yes, shoes.
CFM pumps.
Because every rom-com is that story. It's the beginning. And we all know in dating, everything is great in the beginning. We got different places. They never live together, so it's always like it can between my house and going to her house. It's never like we cohabitated together, and it's like the greatest thing ever.
Did you say cohabitated?
He did.
Cohabitate.
I think instead of the Disney portion, I think we need to rewrite all the stupid Christmas movies on the Hallmark Channel that have the same storyline, and all of them come out like right after Valentine's Day. Here's how your world is going to be crushed. This is not actually how it works.
Yeah, no.
Same storyline all the time.
Yeah, this is
why I don't watch the Hallmark Channel.
The heavy hitter should write a movie called 5 Years Later.
And maybe do all the scenarios.
All the scenarios.
You're right.
5 years later.
There you go.
That's hilarious.
He mad. He's sitting on the couch.
So I think next
separate beds.
Week,
right?
I think next week.
Two twins that sometimes you put together.
Episode 1 next week.
Sorry.
Episode 1 of 5 years later, and we will do a Disney scenario.
Right.
Absolutely.
Post that on Snap.
I can't wait till we get to The Little Mermaid. I'd love to see how cruel Eric could be to Ariel.
Ursula might still try to steal him. I don't know.
Ursula's not going. She didn't go anywhere, right?
She's the sea witch, and she still lives down there.
All right, so you got what else kind of run that news we got?
That's really all that is exciting happening in the world of
There was only one.
No Boogie Cousins. Like,
I don't know who
all
that
right,
is.
go.
DeMarcus Cousins told us DeMarcus Cousins was getting married and wanted the son to be at the wedding, and clearly the baby mama wasn't having it. And so he was on the phone with her and told her that he wanted the son there, and she said no. And she records the phone call, and he said, "I'm gonna shoot you in the fucking face right now." So now there's a warrant out for his arrest for making threats over the phone or whatever. So people are all mad at him because he said he gonna shoot her, he gonna put a bullet in her head, something like that. People are upset about that. I'm thinking to myself, everybody at this table has said on the phone, "I'm gonna kill you."
Not me.
To somebody.
I don't think I've ever said that.
I ain't said on the phone for sure.
You have said to somebody.
I mean, when I was younger and maybe fighting or something, yeah, but not.
Yeah, at 29. Moose at 29 has other those phrases. 27.
No. Moose was always a guy that didn't like jail.
That's true.
I don't want that.
But what the whole point I'm saying is people getting upset because but nobody looks at the baby mama. Nobody looks at her. Like, why are you depriving this man to see his kid? Like that never comes up in the that provoking. Like, it's like a woman can provoke a man so much, and nothing happens to the one that's provoking you.
True.
Nothing happens. Like, I want to see my kid. No. Like who gives you the right to tell me I can't see my son? Like, why? What gives you the power over that? But as soon as he says something, he's wrong.
You know for sure she's getting paid big money.
I see what I'm telling you, man. I would never say OJ was wrong, but
we're not going there.
He always wants to go to these places. Speaking of OJ, though, there's a new series on Netflix that kind of follows that whole court case. Cuba Gooding, what?
That's been out already.
Oh, well, I never saw it before. Cuba Gooding Jr. is not a very good OJ Simpson.
That was on FX.
Oh well, I don't watch regular TV.
People versus OJ.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's on Netflix now. I never saw it. It's new to me.
That cigar smells delicious.
It smells so good. But I don't watch a whole lot of TV other than 90 Day Fiance. I already said that, and House Hunters.
What's the one that's called? What?
Which one?
99 What's it? 99 Beyonce.
90 Day Fiance?
Oh, I was 90 Day Fiance. No, my friends are the same thing. I was like, Beyonce. Like,
that's funny.
Beyonce.
No, Beyonce.
You guys still okay?
Yes. Yeah. All right, so, all right, guys.
You ever seen 90 Day Fiance?
What is it?
90 Day Fiance?
Maybe. It depends who's in it.
It's a reality show.
Oh. No, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't watch
it's
it
all
either.
full of drama, and I love it.
You watch reality TV? Or?
I watched the where they're supposed to get married
In 90 days? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
From another country?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't watch that. The only thing my TV goes to TLC.
Good.
It's $12.50 if you have AT&T Uverse.
Yeah, it doesn't even
Block
go.
it.
Yeah.
$12.50,
thank you, I'm sorry.
1502, 1452. Those are my channels.
Yeah, mine.
1450 when Fixer Upper's on.
I go to the sports channels.
1602.
And HBO. That's about. If I watch TV, that's where it goes.
I really need. I wish I could have cable a la carte. As a matter of fact,
10-13.
I'm almost thinking, man, to just go with YouTube television and be done with cable.
Everybody's unplugging from cable.
You can do
It's so expensive.
YouTube television. YouTube television is probably enough. It has all the stuff I really need.
Hulu. Well, now they got Hulu. If you got
I like
Spotify, Hulu's free.
Really?
So, yeah. So like, shit, Hulu's is just a day after television.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I end up though. You got Amazon Prime and Hulu and YouTube television.
You got iTunes Music.
Right? You end up paying the same price for all that.
That's true. But Prime is the best because you get the free shipping.
Prime is.
I love Amazon Prime. You know what else I've recently discovered that I love because apparently I refuse to be a peasant is that I have recently had my groceries delivered to my house and it is amazing.
It's lazy.
It is so lazy, but I'm so exhausted or I just don't want to leave my house and so I don't. Like, being a recluse in 2019 is really easy because if you don't need it...
Millennials.
Yeah, well, that's who I am. So, like, if you need it in less than 2 days, you just order your groceries. And if you can wait 2 days, you order it on Amazon. And if you want to get food, but you don't want to leave the house, you just DoorDash. And so, I could get rid of my car if I didn't have to go to work.
I'm too cheap. I don't want to pay the extra expenses when I can do it myself.
So, most places, like, for the grocery delivery, your first delivery is free. If your bill is over a certain amount, it's free. And then you can also share your code. So, like, I could share a code with you guys, and you would get $10 off your order, and I would get free shipping on my next one.
Yeah, we're not.
I'm just saying. So there are ways to not pay for the delivery, and it's delightful because sometimes I don't want to go to the store. I used to ClickList, and now that I can get them delivered, it makes ClickList look like it's for peasants. It's delightful.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not. I might have Chinese food delivered.
I can have my groceries delivered in an hour.
That's it.
That's about far as I go with delivery.
Help! I get all kinds of stuff delivered.
Get my groceries delivered.
It probably looks like I'm running some sort of brothel operation or something with the amount of people that deliver things to my house.
I was at Ritter's one day and I saw somebody picking up ice cream to deliver to someone.
That doesn't seem like the smartest idea.
You know what's crazy?
Like,
you can buy everything on this planet except sex.
I mean,
everything is legal to buy. You can buy anything. You just can't buy no pussy for nobody. Which is crazy when you think about it. I can have everything delivered to my door. I have a car online. Click the button.
Someone in my neighborhood did get a car delivered to their house.
Yeah, get a car delivered to their house. I can get groceries delivered to
Carvana.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can get pizza. You can get groceries. You can get everything. You can see a doctor from your house. Everything from your crib. But as soon as you order some nasty stuff, now all of a sudden you go into jail.
Everybody's showing up at your door.
Everybody's showing up at your door, That's crazy. I think prostitution should be legal. I think it should be legal. I think it should be.
Well, what do you think about the state of Texas? As of September 1st, it's now illegal to send anyone any explicit material via text or social media. Like, so if there was something controversial that we ended up inboxing the whole group, we could potentially be in trouble legally.
Unsolicited or
your words are all
they
tonight.
What I heard didn't specify. The governor was just out speaking generally about it.
That's crazy.
But they have less strict gun laws now as of September.
You do realize it's okay on YouTube to show somebody getting their brains blown out. On Instagram, you can scroll ahead a little coronavirus. You can watch somebody get hit by a car, get murdered. But heaven forbid you show a woman's nipple, it's over with.
Over with.
It's a nipple. It's just brown.
Here's the thing.
Pink.
You know what? I mean,
Pink, yes.
The only way that can be policed is if
somebody snitch on you.
Is if somebody tells on you.
For sure.
What it's going to curve down on is people getting unsolicited messages, like dick pics, stuff like that.
I would say don't send them at all.
With somebody and then she decides to that's where it's going.
There's going to be hella gray areas in big ass Texas. Right. Ain't that right, Big Gates?
You dated somebody and all of a sudden y'all break up and she's like, you know what? You got a new girl? Okay, she show all the text messages you sent her in your junk.
Right.
Over with. It has to be like a fine. Probably a fine, but it's still an inconvenience in my life.
Well, yeah. I would say probably don't send them.
No, ladies keep sending them.
I will not tell.
No, we will not tell them. But the screenshot has a limited.
I tell you what, real quick, we're gonna get serious for a second. So there was another mass shooting this last week in Texas, man. I want to say 21 people were shot. Not everyone died. But I mean, do you guys think the gun laws will ever change?
No, man. I mean,
or is it?
I mean, we talk about mass shootings, but I mean, how many people were shot in Chicago last weekend?
No, I see what you're saying, and you know what? As you say that, man, I guess I will have a trouble with the fact that I lived through the crack epidemic, and just say no to drugs, and there was just prosecution for that, and stiffer penalties for having, manufacturing, and consuming those medications. Whereas now,
CBD oil is everywhere.
Now not even CBD oil, but it's the fact that people are all over
the
opioid epidemic, and so now they done made a drug to bring you back to life when you overdose on that drug. Like they found very quickly a drug that brings you back to life because you took that drug. They found very quickly monies to start clinics that treat people that are on heroin and methamphetamine. They found very quickly monies to give to police officers to try to crack down on them. And so it's, I guess I have that question, like what is the difference?
We know the difference.
outside the color of the skin of people that took.
There is no difference outside the color of the skin. When it affects a certain group of people, then things get to change. You ever notice? Somebody had made a post about the opioids, is painkillers and all that kind of stuff. There's some about the reason why black people typically aren't addicted to painkillers is because they don't get prescribed painkillers. The doctors don't give it to them because it had a whole. I think it was last week tonight did a special on that, how most medical personnel feel that black people can take it.
There's actually studies that say the higher your melanin, the higher your pain tolerance.
So they don't give you. So when black people go to the hospital, they give you ibuprofen.
Yep.
When Ron goes to the hospital, she gets.
I get codeine and all kind of stuff.
All that. She get all the good stuff, but we get like, here, take 2 ibuprofens and deal with it. And that's not necessarily. I mean, we need the good stuff too. They don't give it to us.
I mean, but I think they were able to use something like the whole codeine syrup breakout as a way to justify scaling back on strong drugs for the African American community.
So, all right, man, expound on that a little bit. Can you?
I mean, because the codeine syrup was something that was showing up in the black community like crazy, especially 10 to 15 years ago. Was extremely heavy, and
you used to start there with the syrup.
Yeah, but I mean, it's certainly all over the place, and I think because there started being a lot of break-ins and pharmacy robberies and things of that nature, and all of these tended to, and this is all over the country, not just Houston, but all of these generally tended to be performed by black folks, and that was kind of the targeted drug. So at that point in time, I began to see even doctors, when I went in for certain things or surgeries, whatever, started to prescribe me drugs that were not necessarily the best for the pain I was dealing with. So,
but even with that, like, Pilgrims was popping pills and selling their parents supplies, and I mean, that stuff been going on. That stuff didn't stop them from prescribing it.
No, but I think it puts you in a situation, because there are cultural differences. It's like cocaine and crack. Yes. So the pain pills that you're using, or the pain medicine you're using and hustling, I can now use this to create a war and say, you know what, you're not eligible for the good stuff, because we want to make sure that your community doesn't get a hold of this codeine syrup and things like it, and start making a market that can't be taxed.
True.
Wow. Okay. All right. So so a situation where we think that from a socioeconomic status basis and from a cultural basis, there's a difference. And the power struggle then is making sure that they take care of their own. And then if you stay in line with what they set up with Ronald Reagan and the Contra scandal, is get rid of those people that do that. So it'd be the Sandinistas on down to the black folks in the United States. All right, man, holy cow, that's kind of deep. But I mean, that's kind of the way it goes sometimes. Right?
For sure.
Hey, folks, this is Never's radio show, and then so man, to kind of tie this all up, I saw where the NFL is considering CBD for sure is one on the docket, and 2 on the docket is not banning marijuana, so that the players, because so many players have said, how it makes them feel and how their bodies can handle it, the whole deal. And so they're really going there. I want to say USADA has already started to look at not banning THC in their areas, that kind of thing. So from a NFL perspective, since that's what we started with tonight, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, from my perspective, I believe that the NFL is going to fast track these options, especially in light of 29-year-old Andrew Luck retiring. I believe that any way that they can help to motivate these players to play longer, and if they can find ways to make CBD, marijuana, not illegal drugs in the system, they can certainly justify it by saying it's legal in some states. I don't know, but if it helps with pain management, I'm all for it myself. But I also think that I think because of the Luck situation, it'll be a way to entice players to, hey, listen, don't retire, try some CBD. Hey, listen, go get this medication from Colorado. This is what you need. I think they'll run with it because they want to make more options available to entice the star players to stick around longer without all the red tape.
I'm real anxious to see if I wonder, like, if you're in Michigan, you're playing the Lions, you're playing the Broncos, you're playing the Bears, you're playing
anywhere in LA,
you're playing anywhere in California. If you're able, if you're good, if you're clean on that point. The only thing is, if you're a Colt, you get caught with that, then you're in trouble. Because it's Indianapolis, or it's not legal in It's not legal in New York.
There's only like 20 states is like
Florida. Legal. So there's still a lot of states. But I wonder if all of a sudden you start to see the NFL states are the ones that start to pass it first. And then it becomes gang fire at that point.
I could see that
because if all the NFL states pass it, that means the NFL could say, yeah, players, go ahead, man, it's cool.
But at the same time, the NFL doesn't care about where you're getting it from. If it's not on the ban list and you can't get in trouble for it, it might be illegal in the States, but hell, who's to say you weren't in Michigan, for a game against the Lions or for joint scrimmages during training camp and you got high? Well, now when I test you, I'll see it, but you know what? You're cool. We don't know when, we don't know where, but you're cool.
Yeah, well, what about anybody who played in the NFL? When you're getting tested, so you get a lot of heads. It's almost one of those things where, like, you almost have to be a fool. A lot of fools get caught because, like, you get tested once in the summer, and they tell you, like, 6 months in advance when your test is coming, or something like 90 days, something like that. Then they test you again, like before training camp. It's like before OTAs or something like that. But that's it. If you're not in the program. Once you get in the program, it's like every month.
It's random.
Yeah, random. Every month you drop.
All right, guys. So, Happy This Radio Show, man. It sounds like we're okay with Ron. Did you have any thoughts about drug testing in the NFL?
I think that the conservative people who own the NFL teams are going to have a big issue with it, but I think if it does get passed, then it will propel states to make it legal.
And I think what D'Lo says is pretty amazing. They may use the Luck issue and push that and like, yo, we are losing our big money players early because what's to say if I get my second contract and I get a big chunk guaranteed that I can be like, I'm out.
Exactly.
I'm out.
But I think that's going to be the trend in general, man. A lot of players, once they get that 50, 60 million guaranteed, they'll play they 3 years and then they done. They cash out.
There's definitely going to be some Luck impact across the league, and I think that even contracts may start being structured a little bit differently in regards to the guaranteed money. In my opinion, this raises a lot of red flags, but I certainly could see the NFL going away from suspending players for marijuana sooner rather than later. Because they don't want to impact the bottom line at the end of the day.
Right.
Losing a star like Luck impacts the bottom line.
That's true.
So we get into your picks real quick before we wrap it up?
Yeah, so hey folks, what we're gonna do, man, we're gonna give our Super Bowl picks for 2019-2020 season.
You guys still okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Jeezy, you first?
Yeah, but my Super Bowl pick is In the AFC, I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I just think that they was one bad call away from winning getting the Super Bowl last year. And then for my NFC, I'm gonna go with my Chicago Bears, man. Get into the big game. I think we got the defense to do it. I think Trubisky gonna take that next step and get us to the Super Bowl. However, I don't think we'll win. I think Kansas City will win the Super Bowl.
Man, okay.
So I got Kansas City over the Bears.
I got Kansas City going too. To make that real easy, I got KCM up going, and man, I feel like the Saints got railroaded last year, so I'm going KC and the Saints, and I want Drew Brees to win that Super Bowl and then get on out of there.
Interesting.
So I'm going with the Saints, folks.
You know what?
Dark horse, by the way, AFC. Coach, if you win AFC, I love y'all, and that's what I really want to happen.
Absolutely.
You know, so I never want to get that out there. And by the way, I'm a Raiders fan too. I don't know if you knew that or not, D-Lo.
No.
But if the Raiders come through in the AFC,
they're not coming.
You know what? No, they're not. But I like them anyway. I always have. So I was a Raiders fan before the coach moved to Indianapolis. If anybody wants to know that, but so yeah. So if the Raiders do well, that's cool.
I dig that. I think for myself, man, and really I don't want to piggyback off either of you, and my initial...
You for sure going to take KCM one.
Yeah, I mean, I was absolutely going to take KC versus the Saints, but I think I'll switch it up since we got... Actually, I was going to go KC versus the Bears, but I think then I'm going to switch it up here. I think the Saints will make the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, I think they're going to be playing the Patriots.
My dark horse, and you said dark horse, is the Minnesota Vikings, man. Yeah, it's just my dark horse. They loaded, man. Vikings is loaded. It's just with Kirk Cousins when he do.
Is he still terrible on the road?
With Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
They got a squad, though, man. They got a squad.
Really?
They got a squad.
Yeah, I'm going to take my hometown team, and I'm mad at the Rams, just for the record. I just need to throw it out there. They didn't put Dakota Allen on the team. He's on the practice squad, and I'm mad about it.
So you got the coach.
You might explain who Dakota Allen is.
No, we already talked about this. He's from Last Chance U, and he's a wonderful human being. And I think he deserves a spot in the 53, and he's on the practice squad.
You making $50,000 a year on that?
Makes me sad.
So wait a minute. So you coach versus who?
I don't care. You said Super Bowl picks.
You said the Rams.
Yeah, did you hear what you said?
Doing it is running on NFC teams.
Pick.
Clearly running.
There are 4 picks of who's winning the Super Bowl. 4 of us, 4
clearly
picks.
running on any NFC teams.
Nope, that's just what I'm going with because it doesn't.
They're gonna play against somebody. Who they play against?
Fancy phone.
Everybody's gonna forfeit, and they're just gonna win.
That's horrible. If you're gonna, come on, now.
Yo, do you know any?
Who do I think will be in the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Who do I want to be in the Super Bowl? I wanted to pick who I want to win. That's what I did.
We all picked.
I know, but it will probably be Kansas City and the Super Patriots.
It can't
happen.
Yes, it can. Yes, because one of them will move. So just to make my life miserable.
That's why I told you running on any NFC teams. This is the Cowboys.
Because I don't really care.
This is the Cowboys and the Colts.
Say the 49ers.
No, I'm saying none of those.
Those are NFC teams.
Okay.
So are you refusing to pick
the Panthers?
I thought I had to come here prepared to say who I thought would win the Super Bowl.
We gave our Super Bowl picks.
Say the Panthers because they have a black quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, I did draft him.
Come on,
he's for the NFC.
Who's your NFC pick? The Panthers.
Fine. It's any of those teams.
See the Panthers and
there
the
Colts.
There you go.
She's still not able to do it.
I just don't want to.
Just land the plane.
No, you all did it.
I know, but that's because at this point I like the argument that we're in.
No.
Yep. At this point I'm doing it just because.
Folks, I tell you what, man, this is Heavy Ass Radio Show, man. Man, I tell you what, giving up for pudding.
Yep. That's what we do.
Doing what she do, yeah.
Because she's not.
That's right.
She's not run. Picks and she hangs out with us and she does her thing.
She's cool.
Right.
Run doesn't push back on things that you guys say and tries to be difficult.
We figured out Puddin is your alter ego.
Okay.
Hey, so I tell you what, man.
Run's not. I like Run.
This Moose.
Whatever. You don't even listen to Run.
This Moose that gave Big House.
The pudding.
This Moose at Big House, man.
Yeah, Run can hang out. We get drinks and everything.
I gotta get my exhaust system fixed at some point. That voice you hear, man, that's the star of the show, the one and only LGZ Mbaku, man, for DJ Long Green.
Yes, and we will have the Iron 3 Hip Hop Show back this Sunday. Tune in to Independent Radio.
Nice, man, and PEMC.
Yes.
Man, for putting
the MC.
Yeah, sure.
Because Run's not here right now.
Run's not here right now.
I'm not sure where she is.
I don't know.
Bring Run back.
You guys act like I've never acted like
Bring Run back.
Bring Run back, yo.
Maybe next week.
Hey, man, I tell you what, man, Happy Hits Radio Show. Remember, we are where you are.
So get comfortable.
And come on in.
Your mouth.